morning, guys. Welcome back to another live stream. We got a lot to talk about. Apparently, there's a new Alligator Alcatraz coming into Florida. To think about it, though, honestly, I think there is a, people say there's a shutdown and whatnot of the current Alligator Alcatraz. I heard that Ron DeSantis said, no, go. We're going to keep the current Alligator Alcatraz. But they're also going to add the deportation center. So that should be very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting. I'm curious to see what happens with everything, but we're going to go do some research on this live stream. We're going to see what's really going on, what the full stories are out there. There's a lot of stuff in the news right now that we can talk about, so it'll be fantastic. Fantastic. But let's get some people in here. We'll play some of the news stories. We'll play some of the news clips. But yeah, we got a lot going on here. Let's put a background. Let's put a background on here. Let's see what kind of background we can get. Maybe we'll find the Democrats' favorite background. I know I have one in here in my photos they specifically love. Oh, here it is. They love this one. They love this backdrop. So maybe this will attract some of them into the live stream. We'll see, though. Still waiting for a bit of people to come in here. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. How's everyone out there doing tonight? I hope everyone's having a great Friday evening. I got a lot to tell you guys. There's a lot of stuff in the news right now. You know, a bunch of Trump's victims got asked if they ever seen Trump do anything inappropriate with Epstein, and the answer was no, 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 no. The list came out. They're still screaming at the top of their lungs, fake. There's more pages, yada, 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 yada. Gold! Oh, there you are, Fuzzy. I appreciate you coming in here. It's not a lie. What was a lie? Would you like to see evidence of any of the following statements? What do you need, brother? The media establishment should have never tried to put Donald Trump and his sons in prison. Never! What's a lie? What is a lie? Please tell me, Democrats, what's a lie? Donald Trump is the truth. Would you like to see the video of the victims? Let's wait for a couple more people to get in here. Maybe in 2 or 3 minutes, we'll play you guys the full video. But yeah, there is at least 10 or 12 victims asked that, and they all sat there and nope. Not a lie. Also, one of the victims that actually worked for Donald Trump, he worked at Mar-a-Lago, and then Epstein took her away, and she voted for Donald J. Trump. One of Epstein's victims said Trump was innocent, and she voted for Trump. She said, I hope Trump becomes president. This man is innocent, and anything else is Trump derangement syndrome. But let's give it another minute. We'll play this legendary video. You Democrats might scream at the top of your lungs and say, fake, fake, but these are indeed the victims. These are the victims. I'm going to show the video. We got all the Democrats in here. I love it. We got Anthony, we got Fuzzy. We just need a couple more Democrats in here, and we'll show you guys the video. All you Democrats do is wake up in the morning, you see the videos of Donald J. Trump, you see my videos. Just because you say you're not a Democrat doesn't mean you're not a radical leftist or a liberal. Just because of that doesn't mean you're not a radical leftist. You can say you're not a Democrat, but that doesn't change anything to me. If you're hating on Donald J. Trump, you are a radical leftist. There's not much more to say about that. You can lie about your political affiliation. I don't care if you lie and say Republican, Republican. No Republican has Trump derangement syndrome, so that is impossible. That is medically impossible. Medically impossible. Oh, now we got two anti-Trumpers beefing with each other in chats. Isn't that funny? Well, double tap that like and subscribe button. Anthony, let me do the test. Anthony, if you're a Republican, what do you think about this? Hey, Anthony, what do you think about this shit? Here's the test, Anthony. Here's the test. What do you think about this? Anthony, come on, tell me. What do you think about this? Hi, everyone. What do you think about this? Come on, tell me. Anthony, what do you think about this? Aha! Come on, Anthony, what do you think about this? All right, let's just play the video instead since you guys are... Okay, you did not pass. You are a Democrat. You are a left. You're a radical leftist. This is brainwashing. If you don't know that with your own two eyes, you ain't a Republican. That is 100% accurate. He is a traitor. Anthony is a traitor. Not Donald J. Trump. Not the American people. Not the majority of America. Trump merch. More and more Trump merch going on. Can the Democrats handle this video? I don't know if they'll be able to handle it. Let's play it, though, since we got quite a few in here.
When Donald Trump said he wasn't on the Epstein list, you guys did not believe him. When Ghislaine Maxwell said Donald Trump was not on the Epstein list, you guys did not believe him. Well, how about if the Epstein victims themselves say that Donald Trump is not on the list? Will you believe them?
I do have to ask, and I know, and it's just something that I think we're compelled to at this moment, with the attention on President Trump, with these questions around a pardon. Did anybody see or hear of the president himself doing anything inappropriate as it related to Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
No? Wow, the Democrats are going to say the victims are lying now. I thought the victims were always right. Why would all these people sit there and let her speak for them and they all said no? Why? Because Trump is innocent. Many of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, they voted for Donald J. Trump, just like the majority of American voters did. So I don't know, it's so hard to understand when the victims say that Trump is innocent. I thought the Democrats said always believe the victims no matter what. Now they want to call the victims liars? I'm confused. Would you like to watch that again,
when
Democrats?
Donald Trump said he wasn't on the Epstein list, you guys did not believe him. When Ghislaine Maxwell said Donald Trump was not on the Epstein list, you guys did not believe him. Well, how about if the Epstein victims themselves say that Donald Trump is not on the list? Will you believe them?
Would you believe
I do have
him?
to ask, and I know, and it's just something that I think we're compelled to at this moment, with the attention on President Trump, with these questions around a pardon. Did anybody see or hear of the president himself doing anything inappropriate as it related to Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
The literal victims, many victims. Every single victim that's ever been asked about Donald J. Trump's involvement says he's done nothing, but that's not enough evidence for the Democrats. They still got to scream at the top of their lungs and say, guilty, guilty, guilty. That's not a valid criticism when you have no evidence and no substantial proof. The list has been released. Is any wrongdoing mentioned of Donald J. Trump? No. No, it is not. And why do the Democrats have such a hard time using, their brain to figure this out? But double tap the screen, like, subscribe. Yes, every single victim has stated that Donald Trump is innocent. Every single victim that's been asked, no victims have spoke up against Donald J. Trump of Epstein's. That is a fact. That was a recent video. That was literally the most recent video of the victims. So I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, Democrats. Why do Democrats think this is normal and this is brainwashed? Can anyone tell me? I need to learn this Democrat logic. Why is believing in all this shit normal, but this is brainwashed? Can anyone tell me? This used to be considered normal to even Democrats. Now Democrats don't consider this normal. Hello, 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 guys. Have you heard there's a new alligator Alcatraz coming to Florida, to my great state of Florida? Has anyone heard that? Any questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about? Drop super chats. What about what? It is Friday, guys. Mr. Ozzy Crosbo. If there's any videos you want us to play, any requests you have, anything anyone has to say, drop some super chats. It's payday, guys. Trump 2028. By the way, I have some Trump hat coming. My new Trump hats are coming next week, so you guys are really gonna like that. John, are you a Republican or a Democrat, or how do you feel about my channel? Hi from Canada. Sasquatch in the house. You're a Sasquatch? Sasquatches support Donald J. Trump? What do you want me to read? I read every single super chat out loud. Every single one. It's called Deportation Deport. Yup. John, a super chat is a donation with a chat request or something you want me to read out loud, talk about, discuss. All you gotta do is click on the menu, click the money sign, drop what your comment is or what your request is, and we read it, we discuss it, we talk about it. Double tap the screen, guys, though. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Whoa! Graham 2028, Mr. Burnell. I really appreciate you, my guy. That's the biggest single one all week. Really appreciate you, Mr. Burnell. Graham 2028. I mean, to be fair, I'll be honest, I won't be old enough to be president, but I will possibly run as, mayor or governor first in the future, and who knows, maybe I could be the president one day. Trump has felonies. I don't have any felonies, so maybe if he can do it, maybe I can do it. Nice mullet. Listen, I know my hair is growing long, but I don't got quite a mullet yet. But really, Burnell, I really, really appreciate that. You have no idea. Yeah! Trump 2028. If you do, keep deporting, please. Yeah, I'm going to keep deporting. Listen, I have Hispanic friends and family. I have, Mexican family-in-law. On both of my aunts and uncles are married to Mexicans. And, one of them actually came over here illegally. But then they realized what they did was wrong. They were young when they did that. They were only 16 or 17 years old. Now they support Donald J. Trump. They support law and order. They're legal citizens now. They figured out they actually did have an easy pathway to citizenship. If you guys have any comments, questions, but I really want to talk about deportation deport. Because all these Democrats have been screaming at the top of their lungs, oh, well, they're getting rid of Alligator Alcatraz. They're getting rid of Alligator Alcatraz. Well, who cares if they're getting rid of Alligator Alcatraz? Why do they take all these small things as wins? Illegal immigrants will still be deported. Let's look up deportation deport. Now, this is in Florida. California, where Burnell is, they need some more deportation centers. It opens in Baker County. It's housing 117 detainees already. 117 detainees. So let's play this video here. It's only a 2-minute clip. This is near Tampa, I believe. Yeah, it says Tampa News. Anyone that wants to move from a blue state, like California or anything like that, I 100% recommend that you come and check out places like Florida. Florida's a great state. That's my home state. I grew up there.
Detention facility in Baker County. Governor Ron DeSantis announced that facility was up and running late last night. I'm Tanika Hughes.
And I'm Ben Becker, only on Action News.
Wait, go back.
Photos show the opening of a new migrant detention facility in Baker County. Governor Ron DeSantis announced that facility was up and running late last night. I'm Tanika Hughes.
And I'm Ben Becker, only on Action News Jack. State and local government reporter Jake Stofan spoke with Florida's Attorney General about the latest developments.
Already, there are more than 100 immigrant detainees at Deportation Depot, which is just about a quarter-mile down the road from here. Attorney General James Othmeyer tells me now with 2 fully operational immigration detention.
No one wants to debate me tonight. I mean, I've been active in the Discord. It seemed like we had lots of people that were saying, wait until Friday, I want to debate. No one wants to debate right now. But if you do want to debate me on border security, bullshit policies like open border policy or gun control or, tariffs or anything like that, tariffs are amazing. If anyone wants to, debate me on any of these topics, I'd love to debate with you guys. I'm very passionate about these subjects.
Centers, the state's capacity has been massively expanded.
The parking lot outside Deportation Depot in Baker County was full Friday morning as the new state-run immigration detention center begins operations. Photos provided by the Florida Division of Emergency Management show the first detainees arriving Tuesday and the conditions inside the facility. 117 detainees are already in the former Baker Correctional Institution, which has the capacity for up to 1,500. The new facility comes online the same week the state of Florida scored a major court victory, blocking a ruling that had prevented the state from bringing additional detainees to Alligator Alcatraz.
We're going to continue to be pedal to the metal on immigration enforcement.
In an exclusive interview with Florida Attorney
General James Othmeyer, the state's top cop, explains the state now has capacity to hold as many as 5,000 immigrant detainees.
Here in Florida, we're arresting more than 3 times the number of detainees as any other state in the country.
Speaking on this Sunday's episode of This Week in the 904, Jackson.
Listen, I might be in my mid to late 20s, guys, but that does not... Well, I'm in my mid-20s, but that does not mean I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very educated on these topics. I meet people that are in their late 50s, 60s, 70s. They don't have their shit together. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their rent. They live with other roommates. They're 60 years old. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you can't even pay your half of the rent, you can't keep a job. You can't hold a job. You can't stay off drugs. Then I don't want to hear age is everything. You guys are being ageist. I've been over this before. There are people, most people that are dummy liberals, yes, they are 19, 20, 21 years old. I'm a bit older than that. But, I know what I'm talking about.
State Representative Angie Nixon argued the cost...
Age doesn't mean nothing.
The city, we're tired and we got to stop dividing our communities.
She highlights the $6 million startup cost for Deportation Depot and the $400 million Alligator Alcatraz is expected to cost for a full year of operation.
Just only illustrates that they care about pandering.
But Othmeyer argues the cost of doing nothing would be even greater.
Where do our healthcare systems, criminal justice systems, infrastructure, you name it, you're talking billions of dollars that taxpayers have had to foot the bill to accommodate these illegal immigrants who are breaking the law and shouldn't be here.
While the legal battle over Alligator Alcatraz continues, Othmeyer tells me he fully expects there to be legal challenges filed to try to halt operations here at Deportation Depot. But based on this week's ruling, he says he's confident the state will ultimately prevail. For local coverage you can count on in Baker County, I'm Jake Stofan, Action News Jacks.
The Democrats should be really careful with what they say because, the other day someone online got arrested for threatening Donald J. Trump. You shouldn't be threatening the president online. Ooh, yes. ICE plans to deport Kilmar Obrego Garcia to a tiny African country.
General Letitia James moved to
deport. Listen, I love legal immigrants. Legal immigrants are some of the best people that our country has. It's true. Look at all these inventors, all these great people that were immigrants that came here that built our country. They built our country, but they came here illegally. Everyone always screams at the top of their lungs, oh, your grandparents came here illegally. They be saying that to random people. No, throughout history, especially a couple generations ago, most people came here illegally. And my grandparents came here, my great-great-grandparents came here illegally.
Reinstate President Trump's staggeringly huge civil fraud penalty. It's appealing a lower court decision that cut the potential $500 million civil fraud.
Not
fine to
Letitia
zero.
James.
Let's welcome back
Letitia
to the show,
James is a
Epstein,
scammer. She tried to
15 years
scam.
of
She tried to do
Capitol
mortgage
experience.
fraud.
He served as a former chief counsel for House Judiciary during the Clinton impeachment. Julian,
Double tap the
let's bring it to you
screen,
again.
like,
When you saw this
and
story,
subscribe.
What was your reaction?
Liz, thanks for having me. It's the same reaction that I've had with most of Letitia James' antics in her pursuit of Trump. It's doubling down on dumb.
Why does Letitia James try to charge people with crimes when she is a criminal herself?
The case in the appeals court
Makes no sense.
You had mostly liberal Democratic appointed judges who all said that the judgment was way out of whack, that it was an Eighth Amendment violation. The notion that you have $500 million fine when all of the affected parties in the case, from Deutsche Bank on down, said that there was no harm. This was an abusive prosecution. It was a political prosecution. The whole thing, in my view, should be thrown out.
Okay, we got
and she will not prevail.
We got breaking news coming in.
Yeah.
This is about how Democrats have been going soft on crime, soft on illegal aliens breaking the law.
Ooh,
breaking news, Fox News Bill.
The Democrats are not going to like this news. Sorry, Democrats, but when you're getting accused, when you're being charged with human trafficking like Abrego Garcia is, not to mention he's a cartel member, not to mention he beat his wife. The only reason he didn't get charged is because his wife said, no, I'm taking back those charges. He got therapy. Well, he still beat you.
Illusion is just tweeting out, quote, Fox has obtained an email that ICE sent to Kilmar Abrego Garcia's lawyers, notifying them that ICE now plans to deport him to the tiny African nation of Eswatini, due to Kilmar Abrego Garcia claiming fear of persecution and torture in about 22 other nations. ICE says this is hard to take seriously what he's saying about these claims of persecution and torture. Julia, what do you make of this breaking news that he could be deported now to Eswatini?
No surprise. Eswatini, for your viewers' knowledge, is a tiny, tiny country on the east coast of South Africa, the southern coast of Mozambique. Very, very small. But, Democrats have been rallying around Abrego Garcia. This guy had 2 hearings in 2019, 6 years ago, Liz, before immigration judges at the Justice Department. And in both instances, they said he's not only deportable, but he was, at least in the appeals case, that he was a member of a violent gang. So the fact that Democrats have circled around and sort of valorized this guy puts them again on the wrong side of the immigration issue, as they have been on the wrong side of the crime issue. And the reason that I think so many voters are not with Democrats today is because they see Democrats as tearing down things that are important: law enforcement, closed borders, sort of gender rules, on down the line, and all these cultural issues. The Democrats have become in large part a nihilist party that tears down things that most voters think are important. That's why they are in the dumps when it comes to the polling.
He's accused of beating his wife. He's accused of human smuggling from Texas to Maryland. He's been in basically the Democrat zone as somebody to support and to back. This is as Illinois governors J.B. Pritzker is telling people to protest against law enforcement if law enforcement, as Trump is saying he will do, comes into Chicago to stop rampant crime and to deport illegal aliens in Chicago as well. There's an estimated 550,000 illegal aliens inside Chicago. It's being tormented by dozens of gangs, 134,000 gang members in Chicago. So they're supporting, fighting Trump, not fighting crime in Chicago. They're supporting, as you point out, people like Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an accused wife beater and human smuggler. They're going after Trump for trying to crack down on narco-terrorists. This is literally an 80-20 issue.
I don't even know why we got to say accused. He did it. His wife said he did it. And plus, we already know the Democrats don't believe in innocent until proven guilty. We already know the Democrats don't believe in that, so why do we got to say accused? But whenever Jeffrey Epstein's mentioned, oh, it's a fact, Trump was involved. But when you mention this, it's no, innocent until proven guilty. Double standard Democrats.
AP North poll, 81% say crime is a problem, Julian. How much longer can Democrats go with this strategy?
They are so drunk on the hatred for Trump that they can't see common sense solutions in front of them. Again, Alberto Garcia has already been adjudicated to be a member of a violent gang. And in Chicago, Democrats have talked about Black Lives Matters. Well, I think the question to Democrats is this a genuine concern, as you said it was in 2020, or are you only concerned about it when it's politically convenient for you? Because a police surge in Chicago right now could save hundreds.
That's right, Ozzy.
Potentially 600 or plus are killed on an annual basis or murdered on an annual basis. It's one of the highest crime rates in the modern world.
Where's Hunter Biden's laptop?
That the status quo is okay. That is what we call the soft bigotry of low expectations. Here's an opportunity to work with the other party to solve the problem. The Democrats, again, they're so drunk on anti-Trump hatred that they can't see the...
In D.C. sues Trump admin over National Guard deployment. Oh, so it's wrong when Trump sues people, but he's constantly getting sued. That's another dumb thing. If you people don't like Trump suing people, then stop suing Trump. This man has been through 3,000 court cases. You think he gives a damn about another court case? Like, you gotta be kidding me right now. You gotta be kidding me. $3,000 court cases Donald J. Trump has been through. It's true. Look it up. Like, he doesn't give a damn about another court case. He spent more money on court cases than most people will ever make in their entire life put together. Is there any other videos you guys want to watch or anything you want to talk about? Drop some super chats. J Money, I don't know if you're just trolling or what. I think you're just trying to, argue with people in the comments. Democrat commentator argues the party's messaging is cratering.
All right, let's welcome to the show Democrat commentator Julian Epstein. Okay, Julian.
What? His name is Julian Epstein? He's a Democrat? Oh no, we got another person involved.
All right, let's welcome to the show Democrat commentator Julian Epstein. Okay, Julian. ICE is worse than the pandemic. Crime isn't bad. Do you really think these are the kind of statements that resonate with voters?
I think these are the kind of statements that I would characterize as a form of psychosis, Ashley, and thanks for having me. The Democratic brand is in the dumps. Every single indicator, whether it's fundraising, whether it's party registration or ID, whether it is all of the public polling that we have on all of the lead issues, from the economy to cultural issues, Democrats are cratering. And the reason
Democrats are cratering, not surprising.
The altar of these pagan idols.
Burnell, 12 years Democrat free. Am I right, Burnell? If you're still in here, drop me a comment.
Let's erase our energy dominance. And to most people, Ashley, these things are nuts. But they come from the academic. These ideas come from the academic and the activist left, who is not concerned with voters. They're more concerned with indoctrinating enough people that they are victims, that they are oppressed, and that these activists and academics are liberators of the oppressed. So it serves their interests, their career interests, but it is devastating for the party, and that's why the party's brand is toxic.
You mentioned crime. That comes up a lot. Democrats and the media, for that matter, calling crime a manufactured crisis. That's the buzz phrase. Listen to this. I'll get your thoughts.
Nope. Crime is very real, Democrats.
We are in.
and the actual crisis, not the manufactured one.
This is a manufactured crisis.
This is a manufactured crisis.
The crisis that has been manufactured here by the White House, part of his effort to manufacture a crisis.
Nope. These crimes are real.
Crime doesn't exist. I just don't think, again, resonates with voters. They did the same thing with the southern border. They said there's no crisis, nothing to see here. Well, it turns out there was something to see. I just don't think this is a winning strategy.
Well, Ashley, I live in D.C. The crisis is not manufactured. In Chicago, the crisis is not manufactured. 800 murders a year, the vast disproportionate amount of them being black on black crimes. These are Orwellian terms to say that crime is going down. Crime is going down from incredible highs and only marginally, but crime in our cities across the country is higher than many, many third world countries. And if you go into, and violent third world countries, you go and you ask the average person on the street here in DC, and they say what Trump is doing is a big relief. People are scared to walk the streets in many parts of DC. So I think this idea that crime is,
I'm a Christian. I'm going to heaven. I don't know. I can't say that for a lot of Democrats out there. You guys have any comments, questions, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to say, or any videos you want me to play? Drop some super chats, or hell, if someone drops a $20 super chat, I'll do 300 to 400 push-ups just to get the workout in. Just to get the workout in on the Democrats. 300 to 400 push-ups for a $20 super chat. Let's get it. Or if you guys have any questions or comments, just go ahead and drop some super chats.
This just tells you what's wrong with the mentality.
If anyone wants to argue about these crimes being manufactured or saying we don't need National Guard, I will debate the National Guard with anyone. We need them to lower the crime. We need them to lower the crime. Like, what? We need them to lower the crime. This is our country. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, and the fact that they haven't learned from previous elections how to reach the voters. We're out of time, I'm afraid, Julian, but I could talk with you about this all day long. Unfortunately, we can't, but thank you for joining us.
Yes, please self-deport. Just because crime is slightly lower, which is false, doesn't mean that we don't need the National Guard. When there is 8 homicides in one weekend in Chicago over Labor Day weekend, that tells you need the National Guard there ASAP. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, Democrats. What would it take? An invasion of Chicago? We basically already have that as well. What would it take? You want to debate, Burnell? You want to be live on the stream? I'm up for it. Even though we probably agree on mostly everything, but we can see if we disagree on anything, or we can give these people an entertaining live stream. I'm Christian. Hell awaits you, Brandon. You probably don't believe in any religion. Hello, Andrea. Yep, just because someone doesn't like Trump doesn't mean they're a Democrat. They can be a radical leftist as well, or a communist leftist. There's a lot of things they can be. Does Burnell want to do a live stream, or does he just enjoy watching? Because I think Burnell would give these people great entertainment. Who's going to pick your vegetables? You can pick your own damn vegetables. It's not that hard. Democrats, 1720s. Who's going to pick our slaves if we get rid of them? Democrats, 2025. Who's going to pick our crops? I mean, not our slaves. Who's going to pick our crops? 2025. Democrats, 1720. Who's going to pick our 1700? Who's going to pick our vegetables? That was in the 1700s. The Democrats were saying, who's going to pick our vegetables? 2025. Who's going to pick our vegetables? Sounds a little bit familiar? Does that sound familiar, Democrats? They're always asking who's going to pick their vegetables. 1700s, who's going to pick our vegetables if we get rid of the slaves? 2025, who's going to pick our vegetables? Democrats are seething, yeah. I'm sure the devil is watching. If you guys have any comments, questions, anything you want me to discuss, debate about, just drop some super chats. You probably don't even know where that actual slogan came from. But Adolf never said that. But that's hilarious that you don't even know where it came from. It came from Ronald Reagan. The Democrats are satanic in the comments section. Straight up satanic Democrats. And Drew, if you want to know so badly, drop a super chat. I'll discuss about it. Move to Japan only had 9 viewers. Yeah, that guy fell off. Double tap the screen. Like. Move to Japan fell off. Sorry, Drew, then we ain't going to discuss nothing. This is your show too, guys, but if you want to talk about something specific, drop some super chats. We can talk about whatever you want. We can look up something anti-Trump that you want me to review maybe, or something pro-Trump. It's completely up to you. That's awesome. That's awesome, Jimmy. I still remember you from the first time when I had Eric on here. Eric has no kids. The weirdest term ever is socialist democrat. No, I think that's a pretty accurate term. Trump 2042. Wish Drew would explain his life. Who the hell is Drew? Once again, if there's anything the Democrats out there want me to talk about, we got more jobs, inflation is lower, we got more deportation centers, the economy is growing, tariffs worked. Trump's presidency has been absolutely successful so far. GG! Does J Money want us to review anything? That's the question. MAGA games this weekend. This time it's serious. I'm going to go online tomorrow and I'm going to go download Steam and we're going to pick one. I'm serious this time, guys. With last weekend we had an internet outage. This weekend we will successfully play some MAGA video games. Some video games where you can play as Donald J. Trump. More and more jobs under President Trump in this first 6 months than Biden's entire 4 years. It is fantastic. Biden had the economy collapsing. Some of my family lost their jobs under Joe Biden. None of my family lost their jobs under Trump. They just got new jobs and better jobs. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. Trump is doing a fantastic job. A fantastic job. I'm not lying. I'm being serious as can be. Not a single one of my family members lost their jobs under Trump. They all lost jobs under Biden, though.
My panel never saw that.
Okay, that was a random video I just clicked on. Oops. Is there anything you guys want me to talk about? This is your show too. Don't forget it. Cite what arguments? What do you want me to cite? Drew is a troll. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. I haven't been reading it. Thank you, Fuzzy. RFK Jr., this week's badass. 100% agree. He's been taking the heat left and right, but I'm glad to see he's in the media trying to do what's right. RFK Jr. is one of Trump's best picks. We needed RFK Jr. We should have had this guy like 40 years ago. No more Democrat bullshit. Get the Democrats out of here. Christ repels you. Yup, I don't have any of the jab from the COVID. Not a single one. Hey, JC. A lot of Democrats in here. A lot of Democrats. They aren't going to stop Christianity. They ain't going to stop Donald J. Trump, the Christian president of the United States. We just did a review on some politics and some other stuff. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, review, we can do it. I don't know why the Democrats scream at the top of their lungs, interest rates, we shouldn't be lowering interest rates. Why not? The economy was booming during Trump's first term. We had interest rates almost to zero. Extremely low interest rates. Extremely low. We have a bunch of Democrats in here. If you see any Democrats saying any devil shit, remove them instantly. It's simple as that. They know nothing about economics. They don't know what lowering the interest rate even means. It's okay. The Democrats give you views. Thanks all. Yeah, no kidding, Jimmy. No kidding. Any Democrats you see talking about demonic shit, once again, the moderators, please remove them. Trump's economy during his first term was fantastic. He enacted tariffs in 2017, and by 2018, by early 2019, 2018, the economy was booming and blowing up. And Trump is doing even better than before. Trump is even doing better than before. Obama economy, Obama economy, Obama economy. Any excuse they can. Any excuse they can say. And I noticed one thing about Democrats. They really don't like the Jewish community. I really did notice that about the Democrats. They do not like the Jews. Because mostly Democrats support Hamas. That is the facts. ICE is coming soon to a city you're in. You know, I already saw they went to my home city, but I hope they come through again. Trump is going to live a long, prosperous life. Hopefully we can have Trump until 2032. What do you guys think? Chicago, please, now, 100%. Why would the Democrats say, no, we don't got to lower crime. Don't send in the National Guard. Oh, no. I really don't understand it. Can anyone explain it to me? Why would the Democrats say, oh, no, don't send in the National Guard and lower crime rates? I mean, we already see what it did to D.C. There have been no homicides, I believe, in about 14 days now. And that's the first time in, 30, 40, 50 years that there's been no homicides for longer than a week. And the first time in the 30 or 40 years previously. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate you. But I don't understand. Why would you not want to bring in the National Guard? They haven't done anything to citizens. They haven't harmed any citizens. All they're doing is lowering crime rates. And they're picking up criminals that have bench warrants for them. Rapists, murderers, all kinds of people. And you don't think Chicago needs that when they lost 8 lives over Labor Day weekend? And 50 people were shot? You're saying, no, it's okay. Don't lower crime rates. Is that like a demon thing? Or do like regular Democrats believe that too? Or is it just the Democrats? Don't worship the devil. Damn right. Do not do that crap. We need ICE in Chicago and we need the National Guard. We need both of them. We need to hit Chicago with one strong force. We need to clean it up. We need to clean Chicago up. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats. If you want to debate with me, we can debate. Join my Discord. Link in the bio. Let's debate. I hope the US dollar would be backed by gold again or backed by something. That's a great idea. Double tap the screen, like, subscribe. Let's get to 16,000 subscribers soon, guys. How could you actually have any brain cells and think Donald J. Trump is a dictator? It just makes no sense to me. We only need 2 more subscribers. So let's get it, guys. I just like to debate with people. I don't know how that's them creating content for me. Just because we're debating something. Thank you. Oh, Drew, you're jealous. You're jelly, Drew. You're jelly. Bye-bye. I think we should watch a couple more of the recent news because there's lots of clips out there right now. I'm missing out on them. You're missing out on them. Let's watch some other clips from the news. Trump speaks better than most of you Democrats watching this video. I'm 100% sober. Hell no! Antifa, hell no! Nope. The Democrats are mad. I'm not going to call Jola. He can wait, 2 more months when I get more subscribers than him and he can come on my channel face to face like a man. I'm not going to call in so he can hang up on me after 2 minutes. No, thank you. My channel is growing faster than his. I don't need to call him. He should be calling me. I have more monthly views than him. My subscribers are going faster than his. It's only a matter of time until I blow right past them. Trump 2028, 100%, brother, 100%. Woke is being replaced by war. I don't think we're going to war with Venezuela. But even if we do, we can just take their oil. They're not a threat. This is gonna be a bullcrap Fox News video. I think a lot of Democrats agree. Some of Fox News is bullshit, and this is gonna be bullshit. So let's check it out.
But first, going to war, not going to woke. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
Americans love a winner.
If you think I'm hot, can I get a bigger super chat than $2? It's payday. It's Friday. Also, you can talk with me on Discord. Just drop me like a $20 super chat.
And will not tolerate a loser. Americans play to win.
Hell, if someone drops a $20 super chat, I'll do 300 to 400 push-ups live on stream.
In all the time. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost and will never lose a war. Because the very thought of losing
is un-American.
To America.
It's time to win again. The president announcing a proposed name change after 76 years at the Department of Defense. The Pentagon gets new branding and a new focus. Woke is being
your lowered grocery prices are at your local Publix in Florida. Come on down to the beautiful red state of Florida.
We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between, and then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War. I think it's a much more appropriate name.
The new Secretary of War, if Congress approves of the name
Okay, this
change,
ain't what I thought it was gonna be.
In 1789, George Washington established the War Department, and Henry Knox was his
Democrats
first
mad. I love Democrat
this country
tears.
won every major war after that, to include World War I and World War II. We haven't won a major war since, and that's not to disparage our war fighters, whether it's the Korean War, the Vietnam War, or our generation of Iraq and Afghanistan. That's to recognize that this name change is not just about renaming, it's about restoring. Words matter.
The critics were quick to jump in, of course, and declare that the name change is yet another sign that Trump's a bully who just doesn't understand deterrence. All he is belligerent. Well, of course, deterrence.
This is a political live streaming channel.
New York Times
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smash that like and subscribe button.
It's a restoration of tough guy nomenclature at a moment when deterrence is more critical than ever. Further, he argues that this plays right into the hands of our adversaries, Russia and China. He claims who, in their telling, all of America's talk about being a peace-loving, law-abiding...
Aha, Big Jonette. I knew you used food stamps. I knew you used them. Guys, if you can work, and you don't need to use welfare and government benefits. If you're healthy and you can work, do it. Be proud of yourself. Don't take government benefits like the Democrats. If you don't need to.
Cover for a country that truly just wants to strike at any target it regards as a threat. Well, I understand the argument, I really do, but it's wrong. First, no one honestly believes that Trump doesn't like to negotiate and use soft power to avoid war. That's ridiculous. That's what we've seen him do to intervene diplomatically and help settle.
Give the Nobel Peace Prize to Donald J. Trump for bringing peace between China and India. I really like that. Thank you, my Indian friend. Oops. I didn't mean to click that background, but thank you. I had to screenshot that one because that was a good message you left. I appreciate you.
Military conflict.
The Department of War works for me. Nobody attacks the U.S. Damn right. I really appreciate that, Jay of the Decline, and I really appreciate that, Rekasha Shamara. Hopefully I said your names right. Thank you, trolls, for all the views. Keep them coming, and tell your friends, thank you all. I love you, Democrats.
Already in the first 7 months or so around the world. And it's why he's still trying so hard with Putin and Zelensky. And of course, Rubio will still do his diplomacy, one of his many jobs that he's very good at. And our ambassadors, they will continue to represent our interests around the world. Now, after Trump left office, remember in 2021, he, like many of us, were shocked to see what had become of the U.S. military culture under Trump's successor. Was China really afraid of our military when Obama, then Biden, made the military experience seem more like a DEI workshop than a lethal fighting force?
We're frequently asked,
oh, what the heck? No green screen, sir.
Clean energy have to do with the military's mission? Well, the short answer is a lot.
Throughout American history, LGBTQ plus citizens have fought to defend our rights and freedoms. From the founding of our nation to the Civil War, they fought for our country even when our country wouldn't fight for them.
Now it's red, white, and blue, no rainbows. Thanks to President Trump, the pride celebrations, the climate change workshops are gone. And the U.S. military, our fighting men and women, will now have one overriding mission: to be prepared to kill the enemy.
It's restoring, as you've guided us to, Mr. President, restoring the warrior ethos. Restoring victory and clarity as an end state. Fight to win, not to lose. We're going to go on offense, not just on defense. Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct. We're going to raise up warriors, not just defenders. So this War Department, Mr. President, just like America, is back.
Somewhere along the line, the Pentagon just lost its way. The U.S. military should be a synonym for excellence in warfighting. It should stand for victory.
It is.
It should symbolize triumph. Instead, for too many years, it symbolized drift and weakness and, yes, defeat. Now, none of this is the fault of our soldiers. It is the fault of the politically correct generals and admirals who ran the Pentagon. That must change. And the president
Afghanistan pullout was a disaster. We cannot forget Joe Biden's shitty job pulling out of Afghanistan. Absolutely terrible. Joe Biden, why the hell would you let so many troops die and leave billions of dollars of American equipment? Just makes no sense.
The Pentagon exists to win wars. That's not something to be ashamed of. If the president's relabeling leads to a stronger and better military, all Americans will have reason to thank him.
Joe Biden should have been impeached for that. I 100% agree. That was terrible. That was horrific.
Bring in Senator from Oklahoma, Mark Wayne Mullen. To tie all of this together, Senator, if you break...
No more DEI in the military. Also, Trump banned trans from the military. And you already know what else they're thinking about doing. They might ban them from buying weapons.
Break the law or don't uphold the law of our land, ICE and the Trump administration will come after you. Just look at Boston, notorious for ignoring ICE detainers and putting child sex offenders who are illegal migrants back out on the street. And notice to Mayor Wu, you are not allowed to make laws that circumvent and Bigfoot federal immigration law.
You know, Dagan, is funny to me because these mayors and these demonstrators, these state legislators, or even, U.S. Elected officials will go out there, especially from the Democrat side, and say they're breaking the Constitution. You're going, they're enforcing the law. I get they're arresting individuals that came here illegally. There's a legal process to come across. So they broke our laws. The Constitution doesn't apply at that point. They're criminals. ICE is going in and arresting criminals. Either we're a nation of laws or we're a lawless nation. And you can see lawlessness taking place in Boston. You saw it in Washington, D.C., but lo and behold, you can walk the streets now. And guess what? When you're walking the streets, you're not having puffs of marijuana hit you in the face. You're not having homeless people trying to harass you while you're going down the street. You're not having criminal activity take place right in front of you and police literally turning a blind eye to it. You can enforce the law, have a clean city, and guess what? You can still be productive and you can still live safe.
Yup, you can have a clean city. We should be cleaning up all of these Democrat hellhole cities. If you're living in a blue state and a blue city, it should probably be cleaned up. We probably need to send the National Guard to your local blue cities. Your local blue big cities probably need the National Guard. They probably need ICE too to clean up all the illegal immigrants. So, you know.
Trump came in and he's installing laws, enforcing laws back in our cities.
Okay, Senator, though, in contrast to Boston, and no argument that the mayor there, pretty radical in staking out a position that they don't want to cooperate with federal enforcement, even when we're obviously talking in a number of cases about violent criminals. But contrast that to the raid in Georgia. I don't see any suggestion that Hyundai or its joint venture partners
deport these criminals.
Suggesting that some people were here on visas or as trainers, and there's kind of a murky debate about whether they were doing particular jobs that they should have been or shouldn't have been. As an enforcement priority, doesn't Boston make a lot more sense than Georgia?
Well, I think you got to go. You got to go wherever the criminal activity is. We have the resources to go more places than just Georgia. But you know, James, when you start talking about construction sites, that's my bread and butter, right? I've been in construction since I was 20 years old, and everybody knows how this goes. You have a general contractor that goes in, he gets the job, then he starts hiring subs, and the subs start hiring other subs.
Oh, that is terrible.
Meeting the labor.
FDR served 4 terms for a good reason. Amend it back so Trump can run in 2028. He'll be president until 2032, and the Democrats will cry, cry, cry. All these Democrat trolls crying in the comments, they're not mad at me. They don't know me. They're mad that Donald J. Trump is their next president in 2028. And they have 3.5 more years until Trump runs again. That's what they're mad about. They don't know me.
Force. Everybody knows that the people doing the labor, a big chunk of them, these aren't licensed plumbers, electricians, framers. These are people that are doing the grunt work. Those individuals are illegal, and how the contractors are getting.
Y'all are mad that all the Trump supporters are winning. We are winning day after day.
Legal, but no one that's
Chicago next, ICE and the National Guard. Hell yeah.
You can go to a house that's being framed. You can go to a house that's getting sheetrock hung on it. You can get a house that's being roofed. You're going to see this from the small construction sites to large construction sites. And so what ICE did here is they put everybody on notice saying, hey, if you want to be here legal and work, there's a legal process. Deport yourself legally, meaning go back home and then fill out the paperwork and come in legally, because if you get caught, the process is a 10-year wait before you can even try to re-enter.
And the burden should be on the employers. If you scare the doobies off of them, they'll stop hiring illegal migrants.
I agree with that one Democrat comment. If you love my content, you want to support the channel, you should drop a $20 super chat. 100%. It's Friday. It's payday. But let's continue.
A contractor.
Yeah.
And if you do, I can do 300 to 400 push-ups or 100 sit-ups. Sit-ups are a bit harder, but whatever you guys like. Or we can play some videos, do some reviews, read some articles, whatever you guys like.
But I found it comical that some of the regime media were writing about this major enforcement action by ICE, the biggest ever workplace enforcement action, but leading with South Korea.
Hello, Miranda.
South Korea felt about it. It was just, I just was shaking my head.
Hey, come on, they're our friends. We just struck a
No,
trade
but they
deal.
don't lead with the news. The news is the enforcement action, not how South Korea might have his feelings hurt.
But Dagan and James, the fact is they were illegal. It doesn't make any difference. They broke the law when they came here, or they broke the law once they got here. Because some of these people may have had work visas when the jobs act started to overstate their visa. It's illegal. They agree.
It's illegal. Do Democrats know what illegal means? Guys, let's get to 50 likes. Double tap that screen. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Do we have any Democrats here that support deporting illegal immigrants? Or are they all just like, no, don't deport them, don't deport them? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious. Any comments, questions? Any other videos you guys want me to play? Drop some super chats. I think we'll watch this video for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll take a small snack break, and we'll come back. We'll come back, guys. Don't worry. Maybe with a guest. If anyone wants to come on live stream and debate, we can do that as well. But Democrats are scared to talk about politics and policies because they're just better at screaming ad hominems and nonsense about Trump. They don't like to talk about policy or politics.
To something when they enter the country, or they broke the law when they entered the country. Either way, it was an illegal activity, and ICE has the right to enforce it.
Well, alleged, right? I mean, they did get a warrant, but these cases have not been adjudicated.
Well,
So we'll see if the South Koreans have a case.
Almost 500 people. We'll see how many people get released. Senator, the Department of Defense deploying F-35 stealth fighter jets to Puerto Rico for counter-narcotics tasks in the Caribbean. And this is, certainly related. We saw the taking out of this.
Take our jobs back. They're not for illegals. 100%. Why should we reward illegal criminal aliens that don't want to come in the country legally with jobs? It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, let's reward you with a job. You came in, you broke the federal law. You don't want to follow our laws, so I got a good idea. Let's give you a job, one of the Americans' jobs. No, sir.
Now there are 9 of them that President Trump has designated. Show of force, and this is on the same day, of course, that President Trump has renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. He's certainly sending a message.
All the jobs in the United States belong to legal United States citizens. We do not owe any illegal criminal aliens jobs.
The Department of Defense is that we're reactive. The Department of War is going to be proactive, and what we're doing is we're taking a proactive approach to this. I want you to understand something too. This is a direct result of the One Big Beautiful Bill, because in the One Big Beautiful Bill that we passed, it actually gave money for this specific purpose and to the United States Coast Guard to force these laws in these open bodies of water, because the cartels were going around it. They weren't just coming on the land borders; they were going around our borders and international waters and coming into our cities with floods of drugs. Now you're seeing what the United States Coast Guard had the largest.
Miranda, I hope you hit that like and subscribe button. If there's anything we should talk about, we can talk about it. But I think I'm going to wrap up after this video. There's only about 2 minutes left, and then I'll be back in, about 10-15 minutes. Just a quick snack break.
Drug bust they ever have in history last week, and then today we're seeing the video.
Apparently, all you do have to make a Democrat angry is show them that America is being successful in any way. That's how you anger a Democrat.
Actually, yesterday we're seeing the video of us taking out this drug running boat that was warned to stop and it didn't. We're sending a message, and this is what I have to everybody: mess around and find out. You dispatch from
Some Democrats would call this drug boat a merchant boat. They are drug traffickers.
You're playing with fire because President Trump doesn't bluff. President Trump will be proactive, and so mess around and find out. This is a Trump administration.
The Wall Street Journal printed a letter from a reader, and it said, history.
Oh, you keep making new accounts, even though I keep banning you. That's cute. Peace out again.
shows Chavismo, or the political ideology of Hugo Chavez. The Chavismo bravado vanishes under fire. I loved it. It was a short letter y'all published. Go
I'm
ahead.
glad you're pronouncing those words and not me.
I practiced, Mullen. I
That was
practiced.
well done. Last thing before you go, we did want to ask you, Senator, the Bureau of Labor Statistics put out the monthly employment report today. You met with E.J. Antoni, who is the nominee to lead that bureau. Please tell us what you learned in that meeting.
You know, for us to be accurate in judging where our economy is going and where it's headed or where it might be failing at, we got to have accurate statistics. And we're using data that is decades old on how we gather it. I mean, literally the way we gather our job reports is by picking up the phone and calling landlines and hoping people will allow us to ask them questions. Polling doesn't work that way anymore. There's better ways to do it. And what EJ is saying is like, let's revamp what we have. Let's bring it into today's technology. Let's use AI. Let's use the systems that are out there.
Oh, welcome back. I appreciate the effort.
That are already communicating and talking to each other. Let's use online payroll companies. Let's use data centers to actually have accurate reports instead of what we're doing, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And EJ is willing to bring us into what? The 21st century. We should have got there a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of the technology we use, calling landlines, polling people like that does not work correctly for job numbers. We need modern methods to, get real job numbers about how many people are joining the workforce right now or how many people are getting new jobs, et cetera, et cetera. These numbers they use are not very accurate. Same thing with the inflation numbers. They're not very accurate. Under Joe Biden, it'll tell you on Wikipedia, it was only 3.5%. Only 3.5%. Inflation. Bull crap. Inflation was much higher than 3.5%. Much higher. Those numbers weren't accurate. And numbers aren't accurate about how low inflation is now either under President Joe Biden. All right, guys, if you have any final questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats, or I think we're going to take a quick 10 to 15 minute break. And all the trolls and the Democrats, you're welcome to come back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Unemployment is very low, lower than Obama, lower than most presidents in history. All right, guys. I guess we got nothing else to say. Any final words? I'll give you guys 60 seconds. If you drop any super chat questions or comments, we'll go for another 5 to 10 minutes. Whatever you guys like. Who's lying? Who's lying? Well, all the trolls in the comments, I pray that you come back because I'm going to be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. So please join in. If not, it's okay. We'll have hundreds of live viewers when we come back. So you don't have to if you don't want to. But it would be fantastic if the trolls joined back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Love you all. Love the Democrat trolls. Enjoy Trump for the next 3.5 years. Good luck. It's going to be hard when you don't work very hard.